So before you get absolutely furious with me for taking off those gorgeous stock decals, there's something that you should know that you probably didn't even notice. And I say that with confidence because I didn't notice either until I got the bike home. So when I went to view the bike to decide whether I wanted it or not, I didn't even notice that the left hand side didn't match the right hand side, the decals on the side here. And when I realized it drove my OCD crazy. So I inquired at Yamaha to see how much it would cost to get one thin line, a thick line, and an R1 emblem, and it was close to around $250. So the alternative was some leftover white vinyl from when we wrapped the Project R1 and a family member's vinyl cutter. Basically $250 cheaper than what Yamaha wanted. So you can see which option I chose, and personally I think it looks awesome. So that is where this starts. And you can also see that the twins are back on the back of the bike. So we've got a few things to catch up on. So I downloaded the vector for the R1. I measured all the previous lines on the bike so that it would look fairly stock and look fairly similar. It would just be a different color because I knew that I liked this look, and I headed down to my cousin's work where he has a vinyl cutter. So he drew up some artwork and sent it to the cutter, which did a brilliant job. Now the reason that I went with white wasn't just because I had leftover white. I also wanted a unique look, and I really wanted more white on the bike purely for photography. So when taking photos, the camera has something called white balance. In other words, if there's a red light shining on the bike, everything's going to look red. So the camera needs to know how to compensate for that, and it uses white balance to compensate the color temperature. And the way that it needs to do that is to have some white. So when you're editing, you can click on the white and it'll make that as white as possible. So the more white, the better. So it used to have one stripe, but like this, it should just be a little bit easier. That is why I love the R6 so much, because it was completely white basically. Once they were cut out, we tried to weed out the excess vinyl, obviously, that you haven't cut out, so that you can stick them on easily, and pre-spaced it so that you can keep the sort of spacing equal, even though each piece was separate. But it can still stretch because it is actually vehicle wrapping vinyl, so it's very stretchy and pliable, especially when there's heat added to it. But after all of that, I was still too scared to actually apply them because I knew that it would take a lot of work to get them perfectly spaced across and symmetrical on each side. So I called up the exhaust shop to see if my exhausts were ready, and luckily they were, so it was time to take those awful stock ones off. But what I will miss is that the grey perfectly matched the grey tail. The chrome ones don't quite do that. So you probably noticed that I never actually showed you how bad the condition was on these two brothers' exhausts. And mainly that was because I didn't know what I was going to do with them, and I was actually ashamed of the condition that they were in. I don't want anything in that shape on my bike. So I never showed the damage, but where you will notice it is in the GoPro soundtrack video, with the GoPro shot pointing up at the exhaust, and you can clearly see a big dent in the bottom of the exhaust. And that is basically just how the condition was on these, just with a lot more scratches that you can't even see in that video. So that is how bad they were. So this shop panel beated all the dents out and polished all the scratches out, so they look pretty good as new. They also repainted the end caps with a heat resistant paint, so now it doesn't smell bad when it gets hot. And obviously it's missing the two brothers emblem, but I don't mind that too much. That isn't expensive, so I might get it. But basically I just want good sounding exhausts in good condition, and that's all they are. I'm not hung up on brand names or anything like that. So once they had been put back on the bike, I had zero excuses not to put the decals on, to finally complete the look of the bike that I've been going for. So I got up the courage to attempt it, took all the old decals off, all the glue that had been left on, put some lines on so that I knew I could get the spacing and the angle right, and just went for it. I used a bit of heat, a lot of luck, but it came out pretty evenly on each side, and I really liked the way it looked. So we were able to weed out these big pieces, but these very small and intricate pieces, I couldn't weed. You had to put them onto the bike and weed it while they were on the bike, which made it much easier to weed, but it made it very hard to line up and get it straight or centered wherever you wanted it, because you couldn't see where the actual sticker was within the vinyl. But now it is done, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. I think it looks pretty unique and very nice. So we finally have a Chaos Causes branded R1 again, so it feels like my own, and it is at a point where I'm pretty happy with it. It's nothing fancy, it's not quite as done up as the R6 was, but to me it ticks all the boxes. It's really fast, it sounds brilliant, and it looks beautiful to photograph.